Yes, so LetiArts is actually one of Africa's first full-time video game development company. We started way back in 2009 with a vision of preserving the rich African story, mythology, and folklore and history in new formats that is genuinely exciting to the youngster of today. So we do that through video games and digital comics. So we created superheroes loosely tied to historic figures, and some are also factual as cool characters, which we preserve in a way that kids are excited about and the global populace is also excited about. We also kickstarted the whole new gaming industry in Africa. In doing that, gaming became a hallmark on the continent, and that also brought gamification onto the continent. That is serious games, where we use games for serious issues, games to tackle serious issues that we have on the continent. And that also significantly impacted the African video game industry. And that has been the major role that LetiArts has been playing for all these years since we kickstarted as a company. So at LetiArts, we've been really intentional about our partnerships that we formed over the years. And we normally break down our partnerships in blocks. One for industry credibility, making sure that the African tech space is recognized. Also partnering to actually increase our distribution, reach, and also brand name globally, to position the company as the strategic partner for leading brands across the globe. And the other bit is also positioning for impact, because gaming has to make direct impact on the continent. So with some of our brand positionings and distribution, and also making sure the tech industry has its recognition, we've had partnerships with companies, big brands like Intel, way back when they were releasing their YOLO phones in Nairobi. We actually optimized Africa's Legends, which is one of our video games, for their mobile phones. That partnership was quite remarkable. We've partnered MTN, Vodafone. We've worked with really huge brands in positioning the business, and even recently consulted with Riot Games on Astra in Valorant. So these have been intentional steps and also ways of partnering companies to increase the brand recognition and also heighten what is happening on the continent and what Africans can do in terms of quality in the gaming and tech space. We've also partnered NGOs and government institutions to roll out serious games, which has also positioned the company in the light of making impact when it comes to gamification and video games across the world. One of the recent ones is the partnership with 8D Games to launch a game for Eritreans living in the Netherlands, which just got launched last month. And we've also done works with Japaigo, with HelloNess, launched in Ghana. We've worked with the Web Foundation with My Jolly, that was also launched in Ghana. And most recently also done Mama Tingi, which is a co-production with other game studios on the continent. So for us, our partnership has been very strategic. That has definitely propelled the company forward, and the gaming industry as a whole forward. So as I mentioned, for LetiArts, some of the partnerships came in as being discovered, and some also have been quite intentional, because we definitely have to position the brand to work with top brands that deserve the quality, and also we showing how quality or the African gaming industry is. So these have been mostly our goals when having these partnerships, and we've also done that very well, because the biggest trusted brands globally have worked with us in terms of like USAID, World Bank funded organizations, Japaigo, GIZ, and also partnering with other game studios on the continent, other top quality game studios on the continent under the Pan-African Video Game Group, to propel the African gaming industry forward. So these have been very intentional and strategic to be able to position the tech and gaming industry on the continent as a whole, making sure creatives are consciously put within technology through video games is something that we definitely enjoy. So doing this to prove the capability and ability of video games through these partnerships are very key. Basically, our partnerships have definitely been positioned to raise the profile of the company globally and also the African gaming industry as a whole. So working with these global partners give us the opportunity to prove what Africans are able to do in a certain quality to be able to deliver. So cross global partnerships like the games that we are working on with AD Games in the Netherlands, providing the artwork and making sure it's African, it speaks to the right target audience in a top-notch way. It's something that we are definitely proud of when entering into these partnerships. The same way we're working with the Valorant team of Riot Games on the making sure Astra is depicted right and the background is Ghanaian enough for people to consume is also something very much of prominence. And the same attitude we used to work with Japigo on Hello Nest and all these numerous games that we've built. And we also do that in a way, for instance, from the Pan-African Video Game Development Group, which is made up of 10 game studios across 10 African countries. It's something that is also remarkable. So as a consortium, we've worked on Mama Tingi, which was funded by GIZ, which has been launched, the Mission 55, and numerous other games that we are working together, comparing notes, sharing together, and building the African gaming industry in a way that is credible for investment and packaged well for global audience to admire. So that has been mostly our goals when entering into these partnerships. So for the African gaming industry, we always say that it's still a very young industry, and the gaming industry brings a lot of opportunities into an ecosystem. It's an industry that brings together all skill sets, including both extreme art and science. So we work with musicians, work with artists, work with programmers, work with any industry where that game is tailored to, right? So definitely the opportunities are huge. If you are in the movie industry now and you are an actor, you don't always have to do a movie to actually gain or get paid. You can come into the gaming industry, voice some of our actors, like what happened in the case of Astra in Valorant, where we have like a voice actor for that character who is Ghanaian, also from the creative sector. We also have similar with our local character, our internal characters. Kamza, Africa's Legend has a fleet of characters waiting to be voiced. Likewise, other studios like Hero Games also have their Orion universe. We have Digital Mania with Washmallows, Isuku Games, Kefo, Malio Games. All these game studios have stories that are waiting for actors to be voiced. So film actors, you have definitely work to do in the gaming space. The same with the musicians. If you have a production studio, you can make the sounds, the voice, and all that for our games. If you are a programmer, look, gaming, you just don't have to make games for banking and all that. You can come into the entertainment space to show your skill within the gaming industry and the fantasy world. You've heard about the metaverse, you've heard about NFTs, crypto, gaming, and all that. These are all new opportunities that are actually bringing up within the gaming industry. We also don't leave out the board games, because board games are also huge, right? And gaming is gaming. So if you're a board game designer, please, you can also dive in, digitize African games in a board style. That is also an opportunity. And the last is the education. The education space is also very huge. We need to start teaching gaming in schools from nursery till PhD level. So universities, you have an opportunity to start game development courses, and nursery schools, primary schools, we have an opportunity to incorporate video games into our courses. So please, the pie is very big, and the opportunities are endless. So for LetiArts, with every challenge that we face within the video game industry, we've definitely tagged it as an opportunity and solved it, and are solving it one way or the other. So I'll just run through 4 major blocks of challenges that we have gone through and how we've solved it, and it will highlight the opportunities that we've definitely tapped into and what we are looking forward into. First is the human resource bit, which I just mentioned when it comes to education. So there are no skilled game developers on the continent, right? Universities are not teaching game development up to professional level. So most of us are self-taught, right? I'm computer science major, but I'm self-taught in my game development journey. So how do we solve this? We have started an internship program since 2012, where we've motivated over 600 interns who have come through our studio from diverse backgrounds, from junior high school, senior high school, universities, who are gaming enthusiasts, and we've motivated them one way or the other across board. So bloggers who want to be game journalists, lawyers who want to be game lawyers, programmers who want to be game developers. We've done that across board through our internships and counting. So people are still coming in, and through that we formed the STEAM Academy to formalize this whole curriculum that we've also built. And I also launched my book, Uncompromising Passion, just to also tell my story in terms of how I began this whole journey, and that falls directly under the second challenge, which is the gaming culture. So the second challenge is the gaming culture. In Africa or any emerging market, or even globally, when you pick a book, you are serious. When you pick video games, you are not serious. How do we make parents allow their kids to play video games on the continent? That has been an issue. So we can see the esports community also growing very, very, very fast. And we also starting the Gamers Association Ghana, right, to start making parents realize that, hey, these professions are actual professions. You can make a living out of it. You can allow your child to make a video game and live on it, right? I do games full time. How do I make it happen? That is how come I published my book. The esports community is also doing a lot in organizing competitions, giving out rewards. So people now play video games and go home with something, not just with nothing, for the parent to feel that, hey, you are just wasting your life or anything. So we want to change the narrative through living in that career path as an example, so that the clear career path is shown. And through that, parents have come to LetiArts because they've seen us on television, they've seen our works, and they've seen their kids always wanting to make video games. People want to be video game developers, so they bring them for us to mentor them, which we are gladly doing, right? And also very soon, some partnerships are being formed through the Ghana Gamers Association and some universities in the country to be able to start gaming curriculums. The Pan-African Gaming Group is also doing theirs Africa-wide for us to see how to bring gaming across Africa. So that also answers the first question in terms of our partnerships. So partnering and starting associations is also very important for us to fix this culture thing. The next is the infrastructure bit, which is the third challenge, and how we are solving it, because that is still in the pipeline. Because internet, our games need data to play, to be played, right? And internet is still very, very, very expensive here on the continent. So telcos, we've been having partnerships with telcos in distribution and also making some allocations for our games and bundles and all that, which is actually now growing gradually. Internet coverage is also becoming very widely spread and accessible. The speeds could be better, but with time it's also going to get better. So in terms of infrastructure, data is one of the major ones. We need the device manufacturers to also make affordable devices that are smart and have the capability enough to play high-end games as we develop them on the continent. Microsoft Xbox also coming onto the continent. I know Epic Games, all these international companies are coming in to actually see what is happening in the ecosystem. And from our recent Africa Games Week, we were able to highlight to these international companies that yes, something is happening in Africa. 1 billion plus people are yet to actually provide revenue to the gaming industry that we know about. So I think that the infrastructure bit is being solved through partnerships with the multinational companies to be able to make custom provisions, even payment of games. Xbox, you can pay with our local Visa cards. I know companies are talking to Xbox to make sure that Ghanaians can use Ghana card or their Ghanaian Visa card to be able to make a purchase on the Microsoft Store, Google, and the rest. So all these are challenges which have to be solved. The last is the funding bit, which of course, if the three challenges are fully solved, the funding can come easily. Where we know the gaming publishing wing has attracted something over $50 million investment in terms of publishing. I know some esports bar companies have also gotten some VC funding. The development space, not yet, but we know that this year probably something might happen because we are trying to make you understand that publishing and esports thrive on foreign games currently, and local games need to also flood the market. And in order to make them relevant on the continent or increase their revenues or their impact, the development houses like LetiArts and Hero and all other Malio games and Kfo, all other game studios have to be supported to be able to produce the quality games that the community would definitely enjoy. And these are the challenges, opportunities that LetiArts has been solving, and that's how we positioned it. So from all this that I've talked about, you realize that there is a huge opportunity. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So there is a huge opportunity for the future of gaming, and LetiArts has positioned itself significantly across board. Yes, so as I mentioned, LetiArts has been a leader in definitely pioneering the whole gaming industry. We've also spearheaded a creation of associations. Currently I'm the president of the Gamers Ghana Association, which has brought together over 250 gamers on the continent, and it's a very vibrant community which is in the country, which is growing. Also part of the Pan-African Video Game Group or Pan-African Gaming Group, which is made up of 10 studios, and these are some of the leading roles that we've taken in order to grow the whole industry on the continent. And from all the successes that I have mentioned in terms of being able to work on international co-productions, work in the field of serious games, work with companies, multinational companies in AAA games, at the same time take our local games global, right? It's something that is very remarkable. Over the 13 years, we've survived this, starting it from nothing over the 13 years, and it's just getting more and more exciting. So positioning ourselves as pioneers and leaders has been very relevant and intentional in our movement. So anytime we feel a bit obsolete, we innovate to make sure we are in the moment, right? And that is how we've been able to position the company till this far. And also just keep producing exciting games and working on exciting projects for the future. And that is how we write the history. So MEST Africa has been very instrumental in supporting LetiArts through funding, mentorship, access to other entrepreneurs, connections globally. And MEST is one of our founding fathers. They were the seed investors in LetiArts, and we can say that MEST is actually the first game development investor on the continent way back in 2009, and that has been a very bold step to actually walk the talk with us across all these years. And we've been working together since 2009, making sure the African gaming industry is well represented globally. And that has been a remarkable experience, bringing on board all their gaming networks internationally, and also learning from us on the continent as we go on. So I think it's been a great journey together. We've studied, we've learned, we've definitely failed and come again and kept going, encouraging each other for all this while. And I think that has been a remarkable journey, and we are really grateful for what MEST has done and been with us all this while.